What's up, guys? How we doing, Madden fans? This is Coach Jones with the Philadelphia Eagles, and something special here: bye week analysis. All right, so this is our bye week, and our next three opponents are the Cowboys, the Giants, and the Jets. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at real quick what the records look like for the Jets, the Giants, and the Cowboys. All right. So out of these three, just off the top of my head, just remembering what's been going on in the league, I am looking at, if I'm not mistaken, the Cowboys not doing so well, and the Jets, if I'm not mistaken, the Jets are going to have the best record yet. So they are what's that? 4-2. So they're 4-2. The one loss came to the actual Giants, and the other loss came to the Bills only by 4 points, and that was a forced win. So what we're looking at here is basically the Jets actually losing a game one time, and he lost to the Giants. Now, as a prior opponent to the Giants, I've beaten the Giants a couple of times here. I've beaten the Commanders, not by that much, but beaten the Commanders, beaten the Cowboys, even by more than that, and haven't played the Texans yet, but yet and still the Texans are the Texans. The Bills, I don't remember playing the Bills. If I no, I didn't. I actually didn't get a chance to play the Bills, coach against the Bills. That was a bye week for me. That's why I have a loss there. It's a bye week. I could have probably most likely won that game, and we just don't know how it would have turned out if we would have played. So, with that being said, the Jets are basically in games actually played 4-1. The Giants are sitting on a record at the same thing. The same four is basically no, they're 4-2. So they've lost to the Seahawks, which I lost to the Seahawks. I only lost to the Seahawks by a couple of actually, and if you think about it, it was really only one touchdown, but that second touchdown came late. I thought he was going to sit on the ball, but he did not. He ran it and gashed me in a gap and took it for the rest of the way to for a touchdown. The Cowboys, I don't know how these guys played to an 8-5 game, but it was done. I'd love to have seen that game, but neither one of these guys are right now streaming. So, and they lost to the Chargers by 1 point. 1 point. That's horrible. And now the Cowboys. Now the Cowboys actually got a forced win on their first game. So basically, the Cowboys are basically 1-4. They are 1-4 basically. Lost to the Cardinals there. You got lost to the win against the 49ers is the only win they have. 45-16, which was a really, really good win. And then they lost to the Jets by 3 points. So these teams right here, if you think about the record when they play one another, it's all over the place. It's all over the place. Now we are right now. We had a fair sim against the Bills, right there with that loss right there. But we actually lost against the Lions. Now that game was the very first game of the season, and our team as a whole, when you come off of that, our team as a whole, we just weren't gelled up, and we had people in the wrong positions and stuff like that. At the beginning of the season, not feeling where everybody should have went. We had a lot of new players, so that was that one. And then we, of course, another one of our losses right here, which was a fair sim. So we had a Commanders win between those two. We beat the Dolphins by 8, blew the Patriots out, and then we lost. And it should have been 1 touchdown, but the score says it's 2, so it's 2 touchdowns to the Jayhawks. So we are right now in our bye week, So what I want to do is I want to take a look at our next opponent. Really just one opponent. Now we looked at the last three, looked at their records and kind of things like that. But I want to look at our next opponent, which is going to be the Cowbums, and let's look at some of the Cowbums. Let's look at their games and their tendencies. Okay, so the Cowbums, coached by Coach Skinner. We are looking at the Cowbums, and so they had a forced win there. They lost to the Cardinals. Let's look at a win that they got. They got a win here against the 49ers. And so looking at this box score, they had rushing yards. They set at 93, 200 yards, 219 yards passing. So it's not lopsided, not as lopsided as it could be, because we look at it, football games. We look at having a about 100-yard rushing game is good, but then 300 yards passing. So they were just short on the rushing yards, but they were about 81 yards short on the passing yards for an expected game. 16 first downs. They were tied on that. Punt return. We're not worried about that. We're gonna look at turnovers. This looks like the reason why they won this game is because the Niners turned over the ball 7 times. 7 turnovers in this game, two third down conversions for them. That's horrible third down conversions. So, red zone efficiency, they had 3 touchdowns, they had 1. So basically the Cowboys did better at scoring in the red zone, and they had fewer turnovers, which actually gave them the game. The player stats, we're just going to look at the Cowbums for right now. 104 passer rating, which, it is what it is. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not the greatest. 3 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. If they'd have cleaned those interceptions up, Dak Prescott would have looked a whole lot better. They probably would have won the game by a whole lot more. But he didn't, so therefore it didn't happen. So completions to pass attempts, 20 pass attempts in that game. So that looks like he was trying to run the ball a whole lot more than he was trying to pass them. So let's look at the rushing attempts. 10 rushing attempts. So I don't something doesn't pan out here, but you know what? I know what he likes to do. This is he tries to mix it up pretty good, but he comes out pass first a lot of games. This game had 10 attempts on the rush, which is not going to keep your opponent too much off balance. But he had 94 yards. So that long run of 50 yards actually makes up for a bunch of those yards that he had gotten in that 10 attempts. So he's not really a heavy run guy. So that's what we're looking at here. Looking at our next opponent, heavy run guy, and that would set the stage for what we plan on doing in our off season, and when we get back on the field against these Cowbums. So again, that's the end of our analysis. This is Coach Jones with the Philadelphia Eagles bye-week analysis, and we will actually see you on the field. All right, guys, have a great afternoon, and I'll see you after the advance.